Well, everyone, I wanted to go ahead and break down some of the best or worst buying mistakes you should probably look for when you're buying an iPhone, whether it's brand new or used. And honestly, you probably shouldn't make these. In my experience, I learned from my experience as well. I've screwed up so many different times in my iPhone buying experience. So the first thing being, I would highly recommend observing how much storage you actually need for your iPhone. You will not believe how many times I've bought an iPhone that I just wished I, got maybe one higher model of. Now, recently, we've gotten 128 gigabytes on pretty much a lot of base model iPhones for the Pro models. The iPhone 13s, I think, now start at 128 as well. But if you're buying an iPhone 11 or iPhone 12, those do start at 64 gigabytes. So if you are okay with that amount of storage, then go for it. But for some of you, you may not actually like that. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Buy the appropriate storage model for how much iPhone storage you have. If your current iPhone has, 256 gigabytes, you want to make sure you buy at least that, or you save a bunch of storage on your iPhone right now and get below 128, and then you can go and buy like a 128 iPhone. But just make sure you have enough storage on your device before you actually go ahead and upgrade. Another big thing is when you're actually transferring your data on your iPhone, if you don't have enough storage, you're not going to be able to do a full backup. So that's another massive thing to keep in mind. Another big thing is buying the wrong size of the iPhone. Personally, I like the Pro models. I used to use like the iPhone 6 Plus and 8 Plus and stuff like that, but I actually do like the Pro models now, the standard ones with the 6.1 inch panels. If I were you, I would recommend going into the Apple Store and seeing which size you like. There are 3 different sizes you can technically buy for the latest models, but there's actually more than that because the iPhone SE2 is also a phone. And honestly, I kind of prefer the standard 13 Pro size, but you may like that mini size or you may like that Pro Max size. There's pros and cons for each individual iPhone. The smaller ones do have a smaller battery size, so do keep that in mind. Although the battery size is much better than before on the 13 mini, it's still smaller than the iPhone 13, and that's smaller than the iPhone 13 Pro Max. So you kind of have to figure out, which size you like. Do you want to go for the more expensive ones with the bigger size battery? Or do you want to go for a smaller one with, with less size battery, but it's cheaper and it's a smaller size and it's more portable? So those are some really big things I'd recommend looking at. Now, whether you're buying a brand new or a used iPhone, without a doubt, I would recommend buying a case and buying a screen protector for your phone. This video is not sponsored, so you can go on Amazon or Walmart, go find whatever case you like or screen protector, but just go find a proper case and a proper screen protector, and you will pretty much be set for the rest of your life. You will not understand how many times I've dropped my phone, I've cracked it, I've done so many things, and honestly, having a screen protector in a case will always protect you. And although it's not like the best looking thing of all time, it is just one of those things I'd recommend looking at when you're buying a brand new iPhone or a used iPhone. Another big thing, even if you're buying a brand new iPhone, I'd recommend checking the battery health. This is another big thing that sometimes kind of happens. And if you buy an iPhone and, let's say it's a used one and the battery health is already down like so much percentage, well, you're going to be in a weird situation. I'd recommend just going ahead and making sure that you check the battery health of that iPhone, even if it's a brand new one, and just make sure it's appropriately what it's supposed to be. If it's brand new, it's 100%. If it's used, just make sure that it's a good, decent battery health. And I would recommend contacting that person and asking them how big the battery health is before you actually go ahead and buy it. So that's another massive thing to keep in mind as well. Now, on top of that, ultimately, another big thing I'd recommend doing is checking the serial number of those iPhones. As I mentioned, you don't want to get ripped off. I've been ripped off before by buying an iPhone that actually had a bad serial number, aka bad IMEI number, and that was a big problem too. I had a lot of issues, and I was not a big fan of that, and honestly, it was actually like taken off, and it was actually blacklisted, so I couldn't even use it. So just make sure you have the appropriate information of your specific iPhone, and make sure that the serial number is clean, and make sure it's not reported stolen or anything even remotely close to that. So those are a couple different buying mistakes I'd recommend avoiding in 2022 if you're planning on buying an iPhone. If you guys have any other questions or anything like that, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.